Today we asked you on social media to ask us any flight attendant related questions that you guys had, and I took a ton of screenshots and we are going to answer all of your questions right now. All right, so Jen UHHHX16 asked, how do you deal with jet lag and being away from your families / significant others? So definitely with me, how I deal with jet lag is no matter what destination I get to, even if it's just a transatlantic flight, I'm going from like New York to LA, I take a nap. It's still a 3-hour difference. I power nap. 30 minutes will do wonders.
Yeah, it's the same thing. The best way to beat jet lag is just taking naps and listen to your body.
Yeah, and water too.
Water.
Yeah. Okay, and then the second part of that is how do you deal with being away from your family / significant others? Communicate. Like literally FaceTime, call, communicate, text.
Yeah, never lose communication. And it's always nice to take something that reminds you of home. I like to sleep in my husband's shirt. I know it's very high school, but I love to take his shirts.
That's
like
so
I say,
sweet.
they're our shirts. They're not his shirts.
Aww.
They're our shirts. So I always take them with me. Take something that reminds you of home. Pictures, like Stella said, FaceTime, everything.
Yeah. So Yurilana asked, does height matter when you want to become a flight attendant? So I feel like we get this question a lot. Every airline is different. You have to look at your specific airline requirements as far as height. Everybody was different with their height requirements.
Yes. I will say height is important. You have to be able to reach the exit doors, and you do have to reach the overhead bins. You don't necessarily have to do it, you know, without shoes. Yeah. Somehow you have to be able to close those bins just to, you know, push off the gate.
Yeah.
So I think height is very important.
I think it is, but I was definitely, in the interview, I was allowed to wear my high heels when I did the height test. So just look into it for different airlines.
And then, yeah, I know different airlines will make you take your shoes off and then do a reach test.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
All right, next question, guys, is from Dainty Tat. With your crazy schedule of flying everywhere, how are you able to balance free time travel?
You make it work. You make time for it. If you want it, you make time for it.
Yeah, and because we have such great, like, generous flight benefits, I feel like a 3-day weekend looks so different to you than it did before you were a flight attendant. Because a 3-day weekend is potentially like, okay, wait, how far is Iceland from New York? It's 5 hours. I think I could.
And like, how much?
Yeah.
And how much is it?
Well, it's free to fly.
Yeah.
So, or
before we were flight attendants, you would think about that.
Yeah, but now it's like, okay, wait, can we make it to Mexico and back on this 3-day, 4-day weekend? So you make time.
Yeah.
Trust me.
You make time. You make it work.
All right, guys, next question here is from Organic61. How are you able to make so many personal days off? Most employees get a certain number of days off. So our schedules, basically on our line months, when we're not on reserve, we can drop trips, trade trips, pick up trips. You are so much in control of your schedule on your line months.
So how we are able to take days off depends on your airline, their rules, and your circumstances in your life as well. So
next question is from _Lauren Pruitt. Do you see yourselves working as flight attendants for the rest of your career, or are you open to other opportunities later on? That's a good one. And I think the answer is very different for me and Allie.
Yes.
Like, I think for me, I will probably stay a flight attendant for as long as I can. I love the job.
I see myself keeping the job for the flight benefits, to be honest with you. I'm just gonna say it for the benefits.
Flight benefits.
Yeah, they're amazing. But if I don't stay a flight attendant, I would still like to be in the airline industry, just be in the corporate world. So if I'm not flying, I will definitely stay in the industry. Just, I don't know.
Like work for your airline, like the headquarters? Oh, okay.
That's what I
You could be a trainer.
Right.
You could work as a manager. There's so many, so when you become a flight attendant, there's so many other opportunities within the airline if you don't want to just continually be flying. There's tons of opportunities. The next one is WesAm_Sabin. Any tricks for passing the assessment day? And she has a baby emoji. It's a baby. It's a baby emoji. Tricks for passing the assessment day. My number one thing I say for passing the assessment day is to smile until your face and jaw like hurt. Like the moment you step into that assessment day, you should be smiling. That is my tip I tell for everybody, regardless, smile.
I will say be yourself. These recruiters interview hundreds of people. They can see right through it.
Yeah.
They can see right through it. Be genuine. Be yourself and sell yourself. See it as a business proposal. Sell yourself.
Yeah. You're on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Sell yourself.
Sell yourself.
All right, guys, next question is from 1_Ben_2. Do you fly on just one plane type or more? And if you fly more than one, is it general training for all? No. So yes, it's very specific training for each airplane. So our airline we have like 7 or 8 planes, and we have to get trained on every single plane to be able to fly it.
So we fly strictly Airbus. So that's our fleet, Airbus.
I like the Airbus.
We have Airbus 319, 320, 321, and then like 3 different types of Airbus 321. But we have to be trained on every single one. You are expected to know where everything is on that flight.
Oh yeah.
Or on that plane.
Yeah, like emergency equipment is different on every plane.
Yes. And you guys have a lot more.
Oh god.
I'm sure it's hard for you.
And some of those like huge planes.
Yeah.
Woo!
What is it, the Dreamliner? That's a
the
huge
787. I haven't even been trained on that. Okay. Next question. So daily life _MKG, like marketing maybe. I started watching your videos a while back and wonder if you can pick where your home base is, or do you need to be willing to move anywhere? I've been thinking about it, but not sure if I'm ready to move just anywhere. So for us during training, they gave us a choice about midway through training of 4 different bases, and those were the bases that were open to flight attendants. So they said pick between these, list them from your first choice to your 4th choice. So that's how ours went, and you really do have to be willing to move to whatever base is open at the time for your airline. Is that how it is with you guys?
No, it was actually completely different.
Oh gosh, okay, well do tell.
When you go online to apply for my airline, if you know which airline I work for, you'll know, you can pick any of the 6 bases. So out of all 6 bases, I chose Dallas. Like Stella said, you have to be willing to move. At least in your interview, make sure you let them know that you're willing to move.
Yeah.
If
you say no,
you're not getting it. No.
Took the words out of my mouth.
And you don't have to move to your base. Some airlines have commuter clauses.
Yes.
So
you can commute.
Let's
move on to the next question here is Zedigap. Hello. Well, hello, Zedigap. 1, can a flight attendant have braces? I feel like I always get this.
Me too.
Yes, I think braces are adorable. If you have braces, like, show those things proud. If you go to the interview and you have braces, get your rubber bands the color of the airline. That would be so funny.
So unique.
Yes. Will working for a smaller airline like Compass or ExpressJet hurt or help my chances of working for a legacy airline? You put legendary airline, but I think you meant legacy. No, I don't think so. I think working for a regional, so those airlines, Compass and ExpressJet, if you guys don't know, those are regional airlines. So they're a little bit smaller than bigger commercial airlines that fly like to other countries and all over the United States. Regional kind of stays more in one area. But no, I think if you want to apply to be a regional flight attendant, I say go for it and you get your experience, and then have a better chance, I think, of becoming or going to a major airline.
I agree. I don't see why that would affect you in a negative way whatsoever.
Wherever you can just get your experience. Next one is Sweet Love Arissa. Okay, why can't you inflate your life vest on board? Like, why is it considered a criminal offense? I don't know if it's considered a criminal offense, but let me tell you why it's not good to inflate your life vest on board. Is that if the plane is in water and water starts seeping into the plane and you inflate your life vest, you're not going to be able to dive under into the water and pop out on the other side and then inflate your vest. Your vest is going to keep you afloat in the aircraft, so you're not going to be able to go in and out, and you're going to be stuck in the aircraft, so don't inflate it.
Or if you're trying to go out of an emergency exit, like the window exits, those are small.
Yeah.
And if your vest is inflated, you're not going to fit. You're going to get stuck.
Yeah.
So
here's another question and how do you deal with paps who get the pillow blanket on the airplane as a souvenir? Is it really allowed to bring... Are you really allowed to bring it home? don't know. I never really see PAX take the pillow and the blanket. I don't know.
We don't have pillows and blankets on our aircraft.
Maybe it's their first time flying and they want a souvenir. I don't know. I'm not going to be the blanket pillow police. Next question from Gus 1-_7. I love the name Gus. Oh my gosh, that's such the best
It reminds
name
me
ever.
of Breaking Bad. If you guys have seen Breaking Bad, you know who I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh, mine reminds me of Cinderella. Gus. Money, once you get to that country, do you use credit cards? Is that easier? I always use credit cards. I feel like Visa and MasterCard are accepted worldwide. I never want to take like a bunch of cash with me and then exchange it, or I always deal with credit cards.
Yeah, use a credit card.
Yeah.
And make sure it doesn't have a conversion fee, and don't carry a lot of cash around.
Yeah,
No,
oh gosh,
you don't want to
never.
Have cash on you, but just not
a lot.
Yeah.
Next one here is from Shelby Reton 1. Oh, so how long are your days and hours a week at flight attendant training? So my training was about 6 days a week. It was 6.5 weeks, about 6 days a week, about 10 to 12-hour days every day of those 6
Same here.
days.
Same here. And New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, I was in training.
Yeah.
So
no, training is no joke.
Yeah, no. Long days, long nights.
days.
Yes.
Wear comfortable shoes.
Yes.
Next question. This is Stan Galley _FNP, and let me just say, Stan, you have been a subby of mine for so long. You've always commented on my stuff. You thumbs upped everything. I recognize you here, so thank you. Let's see your question here. Please describe the application process from beginning to end. I've heard several airlines have phone interviews and others do not. So basically, the interview process, let me tell you, is very different. For every airline, I applied to 3, and it was different for all 3 of them. But I would say it is very similar to, you apply, you have like a test, on
an assessment test.
An assessment test on the internet first. Then you have like a phone interview. I had a phone interview, and then some airlines will do a video interview, some won't. Then I had the face-to-face interview, and then I had a medical assessment, and then I waited for a training day. That, for me, for my process, for my airline, took a year.
My process was, you apply online, you do the assessment, I got a face-to-face interview, so I had to fly out to Dallas, and I got the CJO, and then I had to do a drug test, a background check, and
background check.
I got my date. Now apparently they're doing video interviews. So
Yeah,
if you're
I
applying
think-
for my airline, you must have done that already.
Yeah, I definitely think that being a flight attendant is getting a lot more competitive. My airline, when I graduated training, they said that that year they had 150,000 applicants, and they hired 1,500 flight attendants. So it was a 1% hiring ratio.
Jeez.
Yeah, so it's intense.
Yeah.
So
And it's only getting more
harder.
intense. Yeah.
So any informational videos out there, watch them and listen to them.
Yes, definitely.
Let's do another question here. So this one is also from another subscriber that always comments on my stuff, who I absolutely love. This is Aviation Geek Elena. Okay, I've got a dying question that you should answer for your Q&A on Friday that you're doing, and that is that I'm a nervous flyer and I get nervous about taking off. So the dying question that I think you should answer is techniques to help being a nervous flyer and how to handle takeoff anxiety. I would say for me, whenever somebody says, what are your tips for a nervous flyer, is I always say don't sit by the window, because I don't think it's good to look out and see how high you are if you're a nervous flyer.
Yeah,
so don't sit by the window, so sit in an aisle seat. I would say sit close to the restroom so you can get up. If you're nervous, you can get up, you can walk around, you can pretend like you need to go to the bathroom even if you don't. And definitely bring stuff to keep yourself occupied. Headphones and a movie, and watch it, and don't pay attention to takeoff and landing.
Distractions,
Yeah.
yes. Talk to your flight attendants. If you're a nervous flyer, talk to a flight attendant. Maybe they'll try to make you feel a little bit better.
I'm always willing to talk.
Yeah, same here.
Okay, next one is from Jessie MG. Does it get lonely when you're on the job?
Yes.
It does. You really have to learn to be independent as a flight attendant, because your crew won't always want to hang out with you.
No.
No.
And you know, there are times where you're just like, oh, another hotel, another Netflix night. And I mean, that sounds amazing at home, but sometimes, you know, you kind of miss your family. You miss your husband. You miss your kids.
It does get lonely, but, you know.
You find ways to manage.
Yeah, you really do. Next one is from Iggy_Summers. Do you ever regret being a flight attendant? No.
Nope.
I don't even need to elaborate on that.
Nope.
No. Next question, Navita. Hardest part of training? Memorization.
Memorization. The pace. The pace and the pace.
It went fast.
It's very easy for you to get left behind if you're not paying attention. Very easy.
Lily Jasmine 13. Do you ever get airsick? Yes. Yes. I've been airsick one time. I was on the jump seat and I was airsick upon landing and I threw up into a market bag.
I have, especially being pregnant. It helps that we're in the back because you could just run and handle your business. But
yeah. All right, so you guys, me and Allie, we get asked so many questions about reserve, so we brought on a reserve specialist.
Hey, my name is Shandri.
She is another major commercial airline flight attendant. She has been on reserve for an entire year. Okay, give us
non-stop.
Non-stop. Let us know what the most challenging things are about being on reserve for an entire year.
Not knowing your schedule. That's like the most intense thing.
That's awful. Yeah.
You have no control of your life, right?
No. You have no control. You can't even schedule anything. You can't make plans. So it's really tough.
So has it impacted your relationships?
Not really. I mean, I'm in a relationship, so my boyfriend works in the city actually. And I come home, I put my days together so I can come home at least a week and then go back to,
So are you able to bid for your days off?
We on reserve we bid our lines and then actually they just give us the line that we want most of the time you just get what you get and that's it on reserve.
Can you pick up?
We can actually personal drop on our days, the days that we want, but we lose 4 hours.
Okay.
Oh, when you personal drop.
Pay?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. You've seen a lot of flight attendants quit because you're straight reserve for a year.
I've had a few classmates that have left the company being that they're on reserve and the commute is really tough once you're going in and out of, our base.
Okay. Are you like glued to your phone? Like, can you still go out and do things when you're on reserve, or is it just...
I think being at home is the best place to be on reserve. Because I was in San Francisco, not knowing a lot about San Francisco, and I was actually glued to my phone and in my crash pad most of the time. Now being home, I can actually go out and enjoy life and still be on reserve.
She just got her transfer from San Francisco to New York. So now will you be on reserve in New York?
Yes.
Okay, so how long is your reserve? How long do you serve reserve? So for us, I know like if we're on reserve that day, it's for 24 hours.
Yeah, for us as well. We're like ready reserve for 24 hours.
Wow. So it could be like 3 days in a row, 24 hours, 24 hours, 24 hours. Yeah,
that's us. A little different. For us, you would bid for reserve A, B, or C. And reserve A, you were on call from 12:01 midnight till 10 a.m. Reserve B, it was from 7 to 5. Reserve C was from 1 or 2, something like that, until 11:59 that night. And you were only on call for that segment, if you will. Okay. What is the average reserve period, or how long someone's going to be on reserve for?
For now, we're not really sure because that's what we actually went into. Like when we got our interview, we were told in the interview, okay, are you going to be ready? You're going to be reserved most of your life. So I'm like, okay, that's fine.
You're going to be reserved for the rest of your life.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, that's fine. But,
and it also depends on the airline. Some airlines, you'll be 25 years. Some airlines, you'll be 1 year, 2 years. Some airlines, you don't even have to go on reserve.
Close it off. Have there been any positive things about being on reserve?
I'm sure the excitement too of just picking up your schedule and saying, oh, I get to go to Madrid.
Yeah, like
I get to go to Milan.
In October, I got a call and they were like, oh, you're going to Paris. And I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. So it's also a good thing to be on reserve. It's not actually all bad.
I've heard you actually get the best trips while you're on reserve in my
I do,
airline.
yeah.
It's true.
You get international.
Yeah,
Call
I'm
out,
international.
senior mamas. Call out. All right. Okay, well, thank you so much for being our guest star and talking all about reserve. Hope we answered as many questions as we possibly could for you. Allie is doing another part of this video as well to answer. We are going to answer more questions on her channel. So if you didn't get your question answered on my channel here, go over to Allie's channel and hopefully she will answer more questions over there. Again, we asked you guys all these questions on social media, so if you guys want to follow our crazy flight attendant lives on social media, all of our links, everything is down below. If you like it, follow along. Bye guys, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you on Allie's channel. See you like literally in a few moments. Bye.
Bye.